Oh,
Awesome.
nice. I think Liam did it.
Yeah, I just launched the live streaming on Zoom. Brooks, you're going to pick it up on Restream though?
Oh, yeah, it's already going. So you're good to go, Kevin.
Cool.
Super.
All right. So like Brooks said in the chat, today's meeting, sorry, I got to do the date and all that stuff. Welcome to the wasmCloud community meeting for Wednesday, March 22nd. It's going to be a relatively small or short meeting today, since pretty much everybody involved in the main wasmCloud maintainers community is either traveling or in the middle of a conference or both. So there's just two things on the agenda, and I guess I can kind of cover them both at the same time. If you've been watching the wasmCloud repository or the organization, you may have seen some new interesting pull requests go through. The first one is that if you look in the wasmCloud repository inside the wasmCloud organization, you'll now see a new Rust crate that is a reusable library for anybody that wants to build their own wasmCloud host. Now, it doesn't do all of the high-level things that the OTP host does, but the goal is to try and centralize on a couple of the things that the wasmCloud community or the wasmCloud hosts always do. So things like starting actors, verifying actors, checking signatures, all that sort of thing. So there's that, and building on top of that is a change to the wasmCloud OTP host, where we're moving from using a sort of a general purpose WebAssembly execution engine to using the Rust crate that I just described. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is just, we need a little bit more control over how the wasmCloud host communicates with actors, WebAssembly modules, and so on. But one of the big ones is that with this change, we're actually switching to using wasmTime underneath, and that gives us access to the bleeding edge of component model support. And so if you're planning on watching or attending the WASM.io conference, Bailey Hayes has what should be an incredible demo and an incredible session where she talks about the state of the world with regard to WebAssembly, WASM components, component model, WASI, all that good stuff. And she'll also be demonstrating some of the stuff that we have in this new runtime. So while I don't have the ability to demonstrate any of it right now, my guess is that in next week's community call, we should be able to show some pretty amazing stuff. And yeah, like I said, I don't really have much that I can demonstrate, but hopefully if you're interested in the component model and building WebAssembly components, then take a look at the wasmCloud repository. And I was trying to share my screen, but it's not really working. So I'll just paste the URL for I'll paste the URL for the wasmCloud repo here. Just 1 second. All right, so I pasted that into the chat, so for posterity. And so that is where our Rust host runtime is. And as we go forward, the component model support that we have will be inside that crate. And the new version of the wasmCloud OTP host starting with version 0.62, we'll be using the new Rust host and the Rust crate, and therefore wasmTime. And so what all of that really boils down to is that we will be able to build actors out of WebAssembly components very soon. And in fact, you'll actually see Bailey demonstrate this at the wasmIO conference. Any questions? Like I said, there's not really much to demo other than a couple of new repositories, but I think next week we're going to be able to show some pretty amazing stuff. No, the OTP host is not going anywhere. What's happening is, so today's version of the OTP host is we have the Elixir host, and it then uses an Elixir library called wasmX in order to get its WebAssembly functionality. In version 0.62 of the OTP host, instead of using wasmX, which is the general purpose WebAssembly engine, we're actually using our new Rust host library, and that gives us the ability to have optimized function calls that are designed specifically around what we need. So in addition to simplifying things and hopefully making things a little faster, that also gives us access to the component model through wasmTime. All right, well, I guess if there's no other questions, we can stop the meeting, and I'll see everybody next week. See you there.
Hey everybody, I think we might need a couple just minor things. Sorry, I just walked in the doors on a train and then in an Uber. A couple minor things. If you are in the EU right now, wasmIO is happening for the next few days, and as well as wasmIO. So look for the wasmCloud team at both wasmIO, KubeCon, wasmIO, as well as Wasm Day EU, which is coming up pretty quick. That'll be on the 18th. Okay, now I think that's probably it. All right. Any questions or open call? Anyone else want to share anything on today's meeting? Well, I hope everybody has a great week. We'll pick this up on Slack. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, Matt, did you want to share something?